As Gabby said, I've been playing for a while now. I should definitely be better than what I am, but but you learn through time. My dad came home, as I said in the bio, and he said, in my house growing up, we had more instruments than toys. My dad always had guitars lying around, and basses, and violins, and clarinets. So it's like there was always, something, a musical instrument to pick up. He came home and he brought home this trumpet, and I was like, man, that looks like a really cool instrument. And he found out with a trumpet player from the church that we were attending, David Berrios, and he said, how do you blow into this thing? And David Berrios said, you have to buzz. So he came home and he's like, Junior, this is how you do it. You go. So I put the trumpet in my mouth and got a really, really bad sound, but it's the beginning. So, and I took interest to it because I saw people like Melvin, who played for Sadis for many years, playing in church, David Berrios. I took interest to it, so I began to play. My father bought this little Casio piano that had, the pianos before had like these intros, so you press the button and the song would come up with all the things that the piano could do, right? So I would play that, and I'm like, I wanted to learn that melody. The melody was so I would spend hours just trying to pick it up. I didn't know the note combinations. I was probably playing, I was just playing notes. I was finally able to get that, to get it. He put us in music classes with this gentleman from one of our local churches. His name was Midyan. So he introduced me to the Arbenz book, which I'll be showing you guys later. Just started reading. I kind of started playing trumpet not the proper way. I started, with my ear first, which is not a bad thing. But whenever I start working with younger children or someone who just starts playing the trumpet, I always encourage them to read, because reading is so important. When you get called for a gig, you don't have time to sit down and listen and memorize trumpet parts. It's good for them to just come up to you and say, look, this is the chart. You put it there, and it's like, okay, boom. I'm not at that level yet. Like, I can read it, but that sight reading is pretty bad. Unless it's a really slow ballad, like at 60 BPMs, where I have time to look at every single note, and if there are whole notes and half notes, even better. But it's something that I'm cultivating. So because I kind of started off on, not the proper way, I relied more on my ear. Playing in church helped me a lot, kind of to develop the ear. When I went onto high school, where I was reading a little bit more, kind of just understanding what the musical figures were, I actually had the opportunity to play in the senior band with that gentleman right there, that's Tony. And in high school, I remember he was hitting C's up there like effortlessly. At the time, I had met Tim Reyes, who was playing with the band. Tim Reyes is an awesome guitar player. If you've seen this, Tim, thank you. I met Tim Reyes, and he knew Ray Vega. And I said, Tim, can you connect me with Ray Vega? Because I need to take formal classes in order to continue my studies, at Brooklyn College. And he said, yeah, I know Ray Vega, definitely. So he called Ray for me. He put me in contact with Ray. I spoke, with Ray Vega over the phone. And he said, man, Junior, unfortunately, I would love to be able to teach you, but I just got a job in New Hampshire, a school in New Hampshire, so I'm moving up to New Hampshire. And he said, but I can recommend you to a really, really good trumpet player. His name is Guido Gonzalez. He lives in the city. He's a Cuban trumpet player. And I said, great, not a problem. If Ray Vega is recommending a trumpet player, he's good. That changed my whole perspective on how to approach the trumpet. So the first day I went to Guido, he's like, so play something for me. So I played something. I don't know what I played. I know that he put some music out, so I was playing, and he said, you sound good, but you're doing something that you have to correct, and you're not tying your notes together. So if I was playing four quarter notes, right, or if I was playing two whole notes, I go, right? And he says the whole note consists of the downbeat, the upbeat, and it ends when the next note comes in. So it should sound more like. Because there you're playing 8 notes. So I'm just gonna share with you what's worked for me, and hopefully you can make it your own and then kind of tweak it and modify it on your own. Phrasing and just soloing on the horn. You know, like how, you know, when I'm in church, you know, how am I playing the piece, right? Like, am I controlling my volume? You know, am I up here all the time? Everybody's looking like, why are you playing so loud, right? And that's how come you don't incorporate the horn player in your worship, because the horn player doesn't know how to control his sound, right? So that same song, if you phrase it differently, so that guy will get the invite to sit in with your worship team, right? So it's about how you knowing where to put the line. You don't want your horn player to be too busy. Horns don't have to play on every single part of the song, of your song. No, there's a time and a place, right? Because music is like a language, you speak based on what you hear. Same thing with music. If you don't have the language, you will not be able to execute it. If I go to another country, if I go to Japan and try to speak Japanese, and I don't know Japanese, I'm gonna die of hunger, because I won't know how to say I want something to eat, right? However, if I stay in that culture and I start picking up the language, then I'll be able to kind of defend myself. And even if we bring it closer, in terms of how you articulate it, right? If you grew up in a Dominican household, this is how we talk. Pero tú sabes que eso no es así. ¿Para dónde tú vas? Tú vas para allá. Tú sabes que yo estoy tranquilo, papá, tú sabes, right? You see the way it's different. If you grew up in a Puerto Rican household, Cacho, tú vas para allá. Yo no sabía porque no me invitaste. Yo voy a coger por ahí para abajo. Contigo, no te apures. Right? You see the different, right? If you grew up in Spain, pues entonces estás hablando un poco diferente. Pero así fue que aprendiste. Cuando dices entonces con la C, ¿verdad? El zapato, right? If you grew up in Colombia, they're different accents. So based on what you hear, that's how you're going to execute on your instrument, whether it be trumpet, whether it be saxophone, bass, guitar, even the drums, right? It's based on what you expose yourself to. So, but maybe later on, if I get the opportunity to play with the great Ruben Rodriguez, you know.
We're going to do a blues, let's play it now.
Yeah, let's do it. So like a C jam blues.
C jam blues and B flat.
B flat. All right. So it is.
got that for you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Pero manda chumi. The tune is just simple. Para, para, pa. 2 notes. Now, when I solo, a solo is your interpretation of the tune. That's what the solo is. So it's what you hear. Here's where it's important to kind of know harmony, which is, like I told before, like I didn't learn properly. So I go based on more what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing the change. So I'm hearing that, and I'm playing based on what I'm hearing. Here's just different types of mutes that I use. This is a Hammond bubble mute, right? So Miles Davis made this mute famous because it has a really, really nice tone to it. Name that tune?
Human Nature.
Nature, yeah, all right. And if you put this in it, kind of. You kind of get that sound with it.
The 20s cartoon, yeah.
Okay, here's a cup mute. I like the way this sound. Has a really nice, sounds like you have a cup to it, right? He's a pixie mute. Okay, usually a pixie mute is accompanied with the famous plunger mute. Yes, this is the instrument you use to unclog your toilet. Right?
Yo, I need it back after when you're done.
That's story time.
Yeah, that's good. So I went to a hardware store and I got one. I was looking for one. They don't make them like this. They're different now, but I was able to get this one. And reminds of Charlie Brown, right? Right? And then I have the straight mute. You kind of, I find that you kind of want to get a little. Right? So if you're playing kind of something like
Masterpiece Theater?
Masterpiece Theater, right? If you're church, you play that song, Hallelujah, you pop one of these in, and it sounds angelical, right? And this is a practice mute, so I usually use this if I want to practice at 12 o'clock in the morning. If I get a call from my brother saying, yo, Junior, why are you practicing at this time? I'm trying to sleep. So, and I do get that call. He does call me. He's like, yo, I'm trying to sleep. Stop practicing. So I'll put this on. This is a wireless mute. It's really cool, and it doesn't change your intonation. All right, so. Some mutes, when you go down to the lower octave, it kind of changes it. This one doesn't. Right, so I could play this at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it works out. Yeah.
That adds a level of resistance, right?
It also adds a level of resistance, so which is cool, right? Something else I would do is I would bend those notes, just to. Bend the note so that you have that flexibility within the mouthpiece. Think about it. Everything is being done in that small space, right? So you have to be able to, get your lip, condition your lip to do, as they say in Spanish, las maniobras that have to get done. So you do all those, you do those lip bends in order to get your lip, ready to play. like I told you before, what you do on the mouthpiece, you do on the trumpet. That's the sound you get on the trumpet. So if I'm playing. Right, a little flat, but you guys get what you get what I'm saying, right? So it's if you do it on the mouthpiece, if you practice on the mouthpiece, then when you get on the horn, then you're ready to go, right? Like I said before, incorporating horns into your worship. Let your horn players know that there's a time and a place. You don't have to play throughout the whole song, right? There's certain little parts. For a lot of our more contemporary tunes that we're doing in church now that we have no horns, listen to what, if you want to arrange for the horns, listen to what the string section is doing in those songs. And write out parts for your horn players based on those that string section, right? And they don't have, if they have their mutes, there's nothing like having a nice background sound, even if you're putting a straight mute, just holding out long, holding out whole note. Those little simple things like that will take your worship to a whole nother level, right? And not because I play trumpet, but the Bible says that when we're going to hear a what for the second coming? Trumpet. So that's how come I feel honored to play this. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.